weekend is NFL starts this week, and that kind of geeks me up. I
Well,
love
this I
NFL.
got my USC Trojans hat on. They had a big win over some. I think they played LCI High School. They beat Troy up pretty good on the weekend, and I think it was I don't know who they played. To be honest with you, and because I didn't even watch the game, and I was busy umpiring baseball. But there was college football on. That's more my thing than NFL. I love them both, but the college football season got going. There were some underwhelming performances by Clemson and Ohio State. Alabama did where they were supposed to. Uh, Georgia did what they were supposed to, complete dismantling of Oregon. But college football goes, and then, like you said, the NFL gets going, and it's a great thing to be a sports fan right now. You got the MLB races happening, and then you got the football things going on, and NHL training camps are starting very soon. So this time of year, when it starts to get a little bit cooler at night, you can hunker down in like I am down the tavern most of the time now, getting ready for the different sports to go on. It's a great time to it's every year. It's a great time to be a sports fan.
In my mind, I think October is the first 2 weeks of October is the single best time, because then
Yeah.
you got the baseball playoffs, the playoff races. Oh, excuse me. And also you have NFL football.
Yeah.
And then hockey starting up, and like so you got all that, like an NBA, if that's your thing, you
All the
can mark
majors are
that
happening.
into.
There's no doubt about that.
Everything is going on, and you have baseball playoffs, which is
And
the
the
most
weather's still
important.
quasi nice, right? So you
And
can
you
still
can
throw a
do
steak on their barbecue and everything
you
else in the
bet.
backyard throughout the
Yeah.
day. On the weekend is still quite nice. Speaking of barbecue in the backyard, Dave, we're not speaking of barbecue in the backyard, but what are you drinking tonight? Usually, when you come back to the United States of America, you have something different in your hand. I don't know what you got going on tonight. I'm drinking Old Man River Brewing Pilsner style from Lundbrick, the Old Man Brewery. Been there a few times. Great little spot. Dave, what are you having tonight?
Well, this was a little odd. This one wasn't. I wasn't gonna bring this to the table. I have a tall boy Heineken. Uh,
What?
ja- Jasper, let me tell you, like Jasper had a ball practice on the west side tonight, which is a bit of a drive for a guy like me. So I dropped him off, came home, showered, ate, brought the dog over to the west side to give him a walk with plenty of time. I'm thinking his practice was going to be over at 8. So I was like, ah, man, I need a beer. So I grabbed a tall boy and to take the dog for a walk. And then on the park, and like, so I'm walking the dog and we're hanging out, me and the
Atso
dog.
over here, Atso Tawana, or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
exactly. That's
Okay, yeah,
exactly where we were.
yeah.
And then they were done. Practice was done at 7:40. And I thought it was 8. So I had
They don't
20
got
minutes.
no lights there, and it gets dark pretty quick here now, man.
Exactly. So I couldn't so I cracked it, and I'm not gonna fucking guzzle it while I'm driving. I could have. I
Well,
should have. Well, I don't
no,
know what I should have done. So at this very juncture, I have my Heineken tall boy I was intending on drinking while I was walking my dog.
Heineken tall boy. That's a that's a beverage I've never indulged in my life as a Heineken tall boy. I think I've had maybe 5 Heinekens in my life, but a Heineken tall boy has never been ingested by
Well, I'm not gonna
Levinsky.
pack a big bear, right?
There you go. Well, that's a whole other story for another day, maybe.
Hey,
Um,
I want to have a quick question.
yeah.
We talked about like how the best part of the sports season with the tensions rising in baseball. When has a 5-game lead ever seemed smaller in your life?
When it was a 4-game lead on Friday night. Um, that's man, the old butthole was clenched, and they won 2 in a row since losing every day. They won the finale on Sunday. They're talking about the Yankees for those you don't know, first time listeners maybe to the show that I'm a big Yankee
13
guy,
to
and
4.
they had a 15-game lead, and now they don't. They won Sunday in dramatic fashion. They won last night with the Twins, who the Twins can't seem to get out of their own way when they play the Yankees for some reason. That's been going on for a lot of years, and
Yankees own the Twins.
it's
Yeah.
kind of what the doctor ordered. And there's rain out today, but yeah, it ain't pretty. I mean, the Jays. The thing with the Jays and we're going to talk a bunch of baseball tonight, anyways. But we weren't was going to be basically a football show. But since you brought it up, the one good thing that the Yankees have going for them down the stretch in the American League East is that the the Rays and the Jays are going to just beat up on each other. And unless one can get hot and win a bunch of games, I think the Yankees are going to be okay just because of what they have left. They'll beat up Minnesota.
And the Yankees have most of their games with the Orioles done.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So
where the Orioles are so much better.
I did predict that today that Judge is going to hit his 60-second home run against Boston, who's having a tough year. So they have Boston a few times left. They have a couple with the Jays left down the stretch. So, but I think the saving grace for the Yankees is that the Jays and the Rays play each other quite a bit more from here on in.
And that, which
Thank
is
God.
good, but a 5-game lead is.
It's not much. It's not much. It's a weekend.
When I say you guys, I mean the Yankees were sitting fat and sassy with that double-digit lead.
Yeah, if I could redecorate the tavern right now into full USC regalia, I probably would, because it's a bit of an embarrassment what's going on in Yankee land.
I got one more thing about Yankee land. That piece of crap, Aroldis Chapman, has to go on the DL because he got infections from tattoos.
Yeah, he went and got himself a tattoo on one of his DL stints this year. Went out and got a tattoo, got a leg infection. This is last year of his contract. Hopefully he's gone off to Neverland and just see you later, man. That guy's been a bust since they brought him back from the Cubs.
Why don't they?
It was a good deal with the Cubs when they did make that deal for Gleyber Torres. Torres is a hell of a player, but it was a good deal at the time. They should never brought him back. Pitchers, guys
he's a bum
because he doesn't throw 100. He doesn't throw 100 now. Everyone throws 100, right? And he's just not that good anymore. It's time to go. It's time to go.
He wasn't that good when they traded for him. He just threw super hard,
and now everyone throws that hard, right?
Yeah,
it's 7 years later, right? Everyone throws that hard now.
Yeah, you're right. Nonetheless, I take joy. I've never liked Chapman even when he was with the Reds. I never liked him. So
there's always something little about him, man. Maybe, I don't know. There's always something about him that the arrogance about him. I guess to be a closer, you got to have a bit of an attitude on you and everything else. And he never panicked. Like he's I wouldn't say a great Yankee. He was a good Yankee, but not a great Yankee.
I would say he was
the Cubs won a World Series in spite of him. He almost blew it in 16 for them.
He tried to fuck it up.
He did his best to fuck it up, but anyways, and the hype machine got him the contract that he got because he threw so hard. But it's what it is. It's what it is.
It is what it is. But life goes on, and
we'll get into the football part of tonight's show. Football starts on Thursday night with the Rams hosting the Buffalo Bills. They're getting their championship rings, the whole bit. Dave, when you went down to Washington State to the Gorge there, unbeknownst to you, actually, when you were probably having a sleep wherever you stayed when you were down in Washington State in George, wherever you ended up staying, our friend from the Fan of the Van podcast, Jim, great listen. He listens to our show faithfully. I listen to his faithfully, and he always tweets and questions us and asks a lot of things from us. But he went directly at you this time around, talking about the Denver Broncos, more specifically, the Russell Wilson contract extension he got. And he was curious to how you felt about that contract extension. And Jim, the Fan of the Van, he felt that it wasn't enough compared to what other quarterbacks got for contracts. He did say that, yes, Wilson's a little bit older, but he's a proven quarterback and should probably have more than the one Super Bowl if Pete Carroll would have just handed the ball off to instead of trying to pass at the 1 yard line against New England. What do you think about Jim's comments, and what do you think about the contract extension? Because now Russell Wilson's going to be the quarterback you're going to be watching for years to come. To the age of you'll be 57, and he'll be whatever age he's going to be.
So if I'm remembering correctly, I listened to Jim's comments, and I was reading the actual contract at the time. So if I recall correctly, they signed him to a 7-year deal for, I want to say, $230 million deal.
With 160 guaranteed, I think.
If
I recall correctly, yeah.
Yeah, for 5 years. So he's glued to the Broncos for 5 years, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
In 2 words, Absolutely fucking delighted. I am fucking delighted with this. The Denver Broncos, their problem is always a quarterback. It's always they assemble a great team.
Well, Tim
They
Tebow was. I'm kidding.
awful. He was so
Yeah,
awful.
I'm kidding. I'm not. I won't interrupt.
Everything like it always the crux of the matter is to me as a Denver Bronco fan, when we have a good quarterback, we have a good team. When we don't, we don't. Like, I don't know how teams make it work with shitty quarterbacks and shitty coaches.
They don't.
They don't. And you know, and we know, like I say, I'm not good with names. But like Teddy Bridgewater and whoever the fuck was wearing the head coach headset last year wasn't the guy either. You can't fate hates a coward or whatever. There's a saying like that. Don't be a fucking coward in football. You can't do this 3 yards in a cloud of dust anymore. You know, and that's why even though I don't like the Ravens per se, I really, really, really like Jim Harbaugh, that coach, or John Harbaugh, because like he embraces analytics, he makes shit work, he tries to figure stuff out, and like in the Ravens the last couple of years, with their injuries and their relevance and being able to manage a unique talent like Lamar Jackson. Denver doesn't have that in their coaching staff, but now they have a coach, an offensive minded coach with a quarterback that wants to fucking win, and White
That
Shoes.
has won.
Yeah.
And seems
White,
to be a good guy, as Jim from Fan of the Van said. He seems to be a decent guy. He's not getting himself in trouble.
he's too clean. He's honestly too clean.
And he quietly went about getting his contract extension, and it was never in the media. It was never anywhere else. Whereas these other ones, it seems to always be like the Baltimore guy. It's in the media, and it's getting publicized kind of quasi behind the scenes, but they're talking about it, and it's like, okay, shut up, sign the deal, or don't. Keep it out of the media. Don't get the sides battling each other, because in the court of public opinion, you are going to lose as the athlete because you are making money that people don't even realize. Keep it, like, once you get those deals, nobody cares. People only care about those deals when you're bitching about wanting a better deal.
Exactly. Well, and then here's the thing with Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Well, like I don't need an agent. I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to do this myself, and it's still not resolved. Get a fucking agent, give him $2 million, and like let's get this fucking thing done.
Otherwise,
right?
It'll drag on and drag on and drag on, and if you don't win, people are going to say, "Well, don't sign him then."
I'm not saying
so. Either way, you're fucked.
I'm not saying you're dumb, Lamar. But there's other people that are smarter in the ways of contract negotiation than you. And
100%.
just admit that, and that's fine. No worry. Like, you know, I get it. I understand why an agent a player might say, why the fuck am I giving this guy $20 million for the next 15 years? Well, because you're taking home $240 million. That's why.
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
260, 240, give him 20 million, let him.
You'll be okay.
You're gonna do just fine. And then when shit hits the fan on something else, you're gonna pick up the phone and say to him, "Take care of it. Deal with this, would you please?"
Do you think that the way that the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson handled this should be a prototype, I guess is the word I'm looking for, or the Coles Notes version of how things should be done and how athletes? Because I didn't even know he was looking for anything. I didn't know what was happening. I don't follow it. I don't follow the Denver Broncos enough, obviously. But do you think that this is a way, a prototype, Dave, as Jim said, that this is the way contracts should be done? This is the way these guys who earn their money. This is how it should be done. It shouldn't be done with this guy against that guy against this guy, because like I just said, in the court of public opinion, the athlete's going to lose. He's going to lose hard no matter what. If they start bitching about making 15 compared to $20 million. Russell Wilson out of nowhere on a Thursday night, contract negotiation came up. We were on the air when it happened. and then it was just done. I'm sure like it didn't happen that afternoon, obviously, but it was just like I'm on the internet all day long. I'm on Twitter all day long. I didn't even know that it was a thing. Is that the way it should be done?
I think so, and like and as a Broncos fan, this is kind of what how it happened with Peyton. When they had to settle for, and then they went to with Marcus Simeon and it's Drew Lock, and there was some other smelt there, and then Teddy Bridgewater, which I had hopes for a year ago today. We talk about it. I had high hopes for him.
I always have hope for a guy named Teddy.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater,
I don't know.
I think he's a solid guy. He's just not a winner when he's taking the snaps. That's it. That's it.
Good backup, solid
whatever.
backup, and that's it.
Whatever. Like he just didn't have it. And when I watched him play, it was like you just do not have it. You are not a winner. You don't have an opportunity to bring this team to the next level. I think Russell Wilson has the opportunity to bring this team to the next level. And so as to your point, of how these negotiations go. I think when a trade like that happens, I think it's good for an organization, and I don't know how this happens. Like, okay, so we have you for 2 years at this number. Like, do you want to date for a while, or are you thinking about getting married? And like, well, this and that. Like, well, what's it going to take to get married? Well,
And then it's a lot.
Well, the Broncos and Russell Wilson obviously decided to get married because this is going to take him to the end of his career.
Yeah.
If he's still successful with it. Yeah. I think it's completely fair. $160 million guaranteed on top of whatever he made at Seattle. I have no idea. But then with the additional, I think it's like $60 million on year 6 and 7 of the deal. I am 100% satisfied of Russell Wilson sitting behind center for the next 5 years. I really am. And I hate the Seahawks. Seahawks are one of my teams in the NFL that I cheer against every single weekend. That's the only thing I can bitch about him.
Dave, if you were the GM of a team or the owner of a team or whatever, would you be more likely, just you, Dave Van Robes, with your moral compass or whatever I'm reaching for here is, would you be paying for what a quarterback has done or what a quarterback might do?
Both.
Can't.
Both. A quarterback. No, you have to be, because Russell Wilson is that. Russell Wilson is.
But he's young enough and mobile enough still and athletic enough where you can do both with him.
Yeah.
Let's go back.
So here.
Let's just go back. Our fan of the van, keep bringing him up, but he's a Steelers guy. Let's say if if you were the GM, and don't bring up the reason why you hate him for the sexual scandal and blah blah blah. Let's not bring that up. Just use Roethlisberger for his athletic prowess on the field. If Roethlisberger comes up with 2 years left, he's still got a little bit of game left. You got nobody to come up, but he's a legacy guy. Do you pay him, or do you go, it's time to go?
There's always the point of a franchise when you have to say, is it worth it? Is it worth it to give this guy? Well, we got nothing in the pipeline, right? And the franchise, the logo on the front is more important than the name on the back, right? And every organization, regardless of the roster they have to understand, and San Francisco did it with Joe Montana, right?
Time to go.
The Patriots did it with Tom Brady. Like,
hey, do you think that Tom Brady? See, I don't know if that's 100% true. Do you think it was a combination of they both dug their heels in the sand a little bit, and they both said fuck you," and then it got to a point there was too many fuck yous?
Well,
do you know what I mean by that? Like,
at the end of the day, if you look at the top paid quarterbacks in the NFL in the last 20 years, Tom Brady is like never top five. I think he's been a top five paid quarterback once in his entire 25-year career. Like it's ridiculous. Like he took haircuts all the time because he wanted to be a winner. And that bought into the Patriot way. And that's why I don't think the accomplishments of the Patriots with Tom Brady can be done again unless the quarterback is willing to take haircuts. And I don't know what I don't know the quarterbacks out there that are willing
I
to
don't
take
think a team
haircuts.
can win. I don't think a team can win if the quarterback doesn't take a haircut.
Without
I
a
don't.
doubt. I made the point more than once.
I
on
don't.
the show
In fact,
before.
you go to every sport, like, and well, hockey's the one with another a hard cap. Like if a goalie doesn't take a cut, aka the Montreal Canadiens, a la the Toronto Maple Leafs, a la the Edmonton Oilers, unless your superstar doesn't take a cut, you can't win. I don't think you can in the salary cap era. I don't think you can.
I agree. When you look at the amount, it's probably about 50-50, the NFL quarterbacks that are winning without max money. Like what quarterback wins with max money? Even
what did Stafford get paid last year? I mean, it was good, obviously.
I want to say 30 mil, but like it wasn't the 40 mil. Like I don't know. I'm making up numbers, but if
that's what we do in the 1420 Sports Bar podcast. We make things up and don't check facts. That's what makes us so successful.
If your quarterback's the highest paid member of your team, you're probably not winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And you look at all the teams that have won with young quarterbacks. Mahomes wasn't making max money. Russell Wilson was not making max money. The Eagles, they won with Carson Wentz before they signed him.
He got the big money.
And then they won with Big Dick Nick. And then Brady never made.
You go even further back. You go to Eli Manning. You know, it's a different situation. I don't know. It's interesting to see, talk about for sure. The NFL season starts on Thursday night.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. Thursday. Maybe we'll be on the air when the games are on. We'll maybe do a little bit of a live thing somehow. We'll work something out. Been working on a couple of things behind the scenes a little bit to see how it all works out with YouTube Live. I think I got it figured out. We might give it a shot on Thursday.
It's on Amazon, isn't it? Thursday night games now.
I don't know, but I'll find it's on DAZN, so I'll get it one way or another. It'll all figure it out, but we'll do it. Anyways, the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, for Beer with Sports Talk and a whole lot more, brought to you by Manscaped and Manscaped.com. Dave, settle in because I got to do the Manscaped read. Here we go. Football is back, baby. We're back to seeing Mahomes sling beautiful balls all over the field, and your friends at Manscaped are here to help you sling your beautiful balls all season long. With Manscaped state-of-the-art technology, we'll have your weapon looking more loaded than the AFC West. Football, baby, may be rough, but your ball care doesn't have to be with Manscaped. Join the 6 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with Manscaped code 1420SCAPE. That's 1420SCAPE. Meet the best valued bundle yet for the Manscaped Pocket Rockets, the Platinum Package. At QB, the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, a wily vet who makes sure the unit is running smooth and scoring nonstop.